All right. Looks like everything's going. Let's see. All right. Getting my own thing lined up. All right. We're good. So here we go. Where we left off, which is completely fucking exciting. But gotta get through this. Let's see. Oh, wow. I got all kinds of stuff up. Okay, here we go. Fun times. More. Oh, wait. This isn't it. That is it. But that's not the right place. Oh, there we go.
Just watch my guy. He's on the floor to the right. That's what you want. Oh, he's good. Okay.
All right.
Close. Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm not a big fan of these particular cops here. I think this guy's all right. I think the lieutenant that he has is pretty
Good.
pretty lame.
Yeah, we gotta go and talk to that guy.
So, Sarge.
His Sarge. I think his
What's going
Sarge
on with
is
this guy?
pretty
I have
lame.
no idea.
What happened?
That is the bag I'm talking about. I didn't see him.
Okay. Do me a favor. Just stand over here.
What? Ratting people out? Arrest that lady. That's how people get shot. Jesus. I don't know what she ratted him out for, but imagine something like this. Well, I guess you wouldn't have had a concert during COVID times, but
446. Wherever they're at. No, I'm good. Thank you.
hey, how you doing? How you doing? Yeah, I was watching you. You're doing some painting. Watch a little bit of that.
No, it'll cause. Because then everyone's gonna start doing it. Yeah.
I don't know what was
Are you able to text her?
the voice she had going there.
No
but-
battery. And the last time she said, I'm in the dark
Yes.
on the floor.
Stand over here. Okay. I would just hang tight. We're gonna get you guys out of here soon.
Oh
Okay?
shit! Let me get myself off of the screen here. You know.
What's up, dude?
Okay. Let me do something here. All right. So I guess there's three people here,
Where
but
are you coming from?
I want to rant for a minute because yeah, I need to. Whoops. Hold on, I'm screwing up here. I watched that Money Machine bullshit, right? So I watched that fucking movie, and yeah, I'm not gonna say how I watched it because a friend of mine got it for me, and so I watched that bullshit, and I'm just gonna say, man, I don't understand what those idiots were doing with that because that didn't make any sense. That okay, so I don't know how many people have seen that, but that Money Machine thing was kind of hot trash, and I have a little bit of insight into it, and I don't remember who told me. It might have been Turber himself talking about it. It's possible. I'm not even sure because I don't remember. A lot of that nonsense was a long time ago, and I avoided watching it because I kind of knew it was going to be Turber's story, and I don't really believe everything that Turber puts out there. And I don't. If I want to see his side of the story, I'll watch his channel, pretty much. And that money machine thing seemed to me like a very long YouTube video with a little bit better production, right? So I had a couple issues with it. I got about, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 minutes in, and I'm like, this is some fucked up shit. And it's fucked up because, for all the nonsense behind, oh, the victims, the victims, the victims, that thing was very, it didn't paint a couple of the victims in a good light. And I'm talking about victims, not survivors. I'm talking about victims. And I don't even think they realize, I don't think anybody who had anything to do with that video realized what they were doing, right? What when it comes to certain clips that they showed and stuff like that, they were showing, victims, people who died, and in various clips, stuff like that. And I don't know, man. I mean, they showed a little bit of the video with the dude running around saying, "You okay, bro? You okay, bro? We need medical. I can't see the bullet wound," whatever. That video that was the live leak video or whatever, however you want to call it. There's a little bit of that in there, right? And I thought it was very, and they covered up the face of that person, right? But what they don't realize, I don't think they realize, is they were showing faces of people who died that night before, while they were alive. And I just felt that was a little fucked up. Now, that's my personal point of view, right? That's just me talking here. That's not everybody else, because I know a lot of people don't find anything about the event disrespectful in any way. And, talking trash about people who are at the event, stuff like that, and I don't really care too much about that. But me personally, as I was watching it, I was getting angrier and angrier as it went on. And that's why I never watched it in the first place, because I'm like, I don't want to see that shit. But couple things, man. Like, the video went in some weird ass directions, and it made a lot of sense considering some of the backstory I've been told about how the production of that video came together, I guess. I don't know how to say it. But it went in two different directions. It went in a conspiracy direction, and it went in a narrative direction. Of course, the narrative direction was all done by Mike Turber. And I understand that, and I understand his point of view completely. And I understand where he's going with that. I think it was a little fucked up the way that it was done. And they should have taken it in one direction or another. And in that video, they have a girl talking about how she thinks that there was a shooter in front of the Hooters. I believe it's Hooters. And so she was at the event, and she heard something outside of Hooters that she thought was gunshots, and she thought they were very close. And me personally, it's hard to say, how do I say this? Without definitive proof, it's hard to call somebody a liar. Right? Now, I've done it many times. I've gone through videos and said, you think there's a shooter at the church? Sorry, I just don't see it. I don't see shooters anywhere else. So I agree with the supposition that there were no shooters in front of Hooters. That there were, I mean, I don't. And I had friends that were at Hooters that night. So the problem you have, though, is you have this witness saying that she thinks that somebody was shooting at Hooters, right? And then a few frames later, you got Turber coming in saying there was only one shooter. I have all the videotape of everything, and there's only one shooter, and he's shooting from that window. So you basically just shit all over this girl that you interviewed and was gracious enough to give you her side of the story and all that sort of shit. And then all of a sudden, here you are crapping all over her story right after you let her talk. I don't know, man. I found it fairly disrespectful. I didn't like that thing. You know, I really did not like the way they did that. Um, but it is what it is. Personally, when it first came out, people were talking about it. The thought came to my mind that it's not worth watching. It's just not worth it. And I still think it's just not worth it. And basically, any of you watching this, the few of you that are going to watch this, are going to know Turber's side of the story. You're going to know exactly what he thinks, what he feels, all this sort of stuff. I mean, he's vocal about it. He still runs around on Inserve talking about it. So we all have that perspective. We know exactly what that is. We don't need to pay money or anything like that to watch something to see his perspective on the story. There were some interesting stories, I guess, from other people, and some of that was actually, it's good to hear, man. I thought, Roger Keenis, I used to watch his videos, and he always talked about lawyers. It's all about lawyers. It's always lawyers, and I was never interested in the legal part of this whole thing. That's your battle. I don't know much about it, so that's on you. But that was always this thing. So his videos never really did much for me back in the day, because that's what he was talking about, and that's a personal thing to him. But to me, it doesn't really do all that much. So to hear him the other day on Truth Seeker, on Truth Seeker's channel, he was very good. And that was actually a really interesting story to hear, his whole perspective on the whole thing, what he went through, what he did that night. It was good. It was good. It was very good. I got a lot of respect for that guy, especially after listening to that. He was also in this Money Machine thing. And, and it's funny, he talked about, professional acoustic, whatever the fuck, during Truth Seekers thing. And I'm guessing he was talking about Turber. And sorry, but you're not a professional, right? You're an amateur, okay? So you could say, community, amateur acoustic people. You could even say acoustic specialists, but none of us here, as far as I know, unless somebody is actually a mole for the FBI or something of that nature, none of us are experts on anything, involving Vegas or related to Vegas, or that ever will be related to Vegas. So, when you say somebody's an expert, I don't know. I don't agree with that. But yeah, the video was pretty fucked up. I heard, I think one of the things that set me off in that, probably triggered me a little bit, was about, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes in, really, really shortly into it. They used a clip, and I could hear my friend screaming in the background. And there's a few of you in the community that know exactly what I'm talking about, know exactly what videos those are, that you can hear that voice. And I know it every time I hear it. Once that person told me that that was them, I know exactly what they're saying, what they're screaming, what's going on at that time. I know all about that. And when I started hearing that, I'm like, man, It's fucked up. It's gonna be a fucked up ride. It's hard to get through too. You know, I mean, I had to watch that in like kind of 3 settings, man. I watched about a half hour, got up, screwed around a little bit, had to get my head straight. Then if I watched another half hour, and then the final half hour was just whatever. But it was a weird thing, man. It was a weird thing. They start going into a conspiracy angle, start running into the conspiracy thing, multiple shooters, stuff like that. And they start going through a lot of it. They started talking about the Corey Langdon video, how people thought that was multiple shooters, and stuff like that, of course. And, and even Corey Langdon was, kind of on the fence with all that. But then, you kind of 3/4 of the way through have Turber sitting there basically calling them all liars. And I'm like, it's kind of fucked up when you're producing something of this nature and you have people who are gracious enough to tell their story, to do their thing, to add to, your project. And then you turn around and say, yeah, they're full of shit. That just, to me, that just rubbed me fucking wrong. That whole thing rubbed me wrong. And then, like I said, I'm seeing these people in the crowd as they're showing clips, and they're showing the same clips over and over. And if they just showed it once, I could say, okay, you don't know any better. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what this person is. These are the last moments of this person on earth. You're not making them look very good because, I mean, who did that night? And, you're showing that, and you're showing it over and over again. I mean, me, as I watch some of these videos, as I get through these videos, it kind of breaks me up inside. I don't say usually. I did one person, but we spotted throughout the videos that I've watched so far, just the body cams up to this point, this release number 9, we've witnessed about 5 people who did not make it. Seen about 5 people who did not make it. And I can point out who they are, all that sort of stuff. But as we're watching these, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to do that. I feel these people deserve a little more respect than to be blasted out on YouTube as, oh, hey, this person's about to die. It's not right. It's not right. I don't think it's right on YouTube. I don't think that's right in a fucking movie either. Of course, they didn't do that. They didn't, point out who this person is, because honestly, I don't think they knew who these people are that they're showing who would lose their life that night. Anyway, I just wanted to get that off my chest because, yeah, I suffered through that shit. And I know a lot of people ain't going to be happy with me saying shit like this, but I don't fucking care, dude. I mean, what's fucked up is fucked up, and I don't know. I wasn't too happy about it. And but I did get through it. So whatever. Let's continue watching this bullshit.
Came from home.
I was at the freaking overtime.
Yeah. Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Did you get shot?
Yeah, dude, it sounded like firecrackers.
You know you got hit, right?
What?
You know who got hit?
No, who?
Clarkson.
Who?
Casey Clarkson. No, Brent.
How bad?
Shoulder.
But
He's good. He's pretty good. Yeah, he's good.
Were those the only officers?
But right now, yeah, I mean, no.
Dude, so it sounded like firecrackers. So I went over, and there's this lady. Yeah, and then I heard it all. People get shot all around me, and I heard, so we all get down.
I haven't checked on my FOIAs lately.
So I hopped the wall, and we were freaking
kind of curious about that.
Almost probably like 20 of us.
It's funny how I put like 6 in, only got 3 replies.
So far,
Oh, and then, oh God, and then to fucking top that shit off, and I understood where they were going with that fucking thing, But they're talking about like how the money runs Vegas and all that sort of stuff. Of course it does. It runs life. It runs everything in life. I mean, I get it. But, you know, then they started bashing was it Carolyn Goodman, I think is her name? The mayor of Las Vegas, Paradise, Nevada, whatever the fuck she's mayor of. Some piece of desert out there. And, you know, they went into coronavirus. Coronavirus. They had to bring coronavirus into that thing. And I'm tired of hearing about that shit, man. I'm fucking so over coronavirus. Don't give a fuck about coronavirus. And so, you know, you bring that into a movie like that, something about Vegas, right? It's about Vegas, you know. But, you know, they're trying to say that, you know, she was so shady that, you know, she was saying that she wanted to use Vegas as a testing ground for opening up for coronavirus. Now, that's wild speculation. That's very wild speculation that she had anything to do with Vegas, and that the juxtaposition between the Vegas shooting and the coronavirus, as far as the money was concerned, and her wanting to open things up in after the coronavirus, whatever. You know, it's like I don't think I remember ever seeing her up on stage. I don't think she was one of those knuckleheads up on stage that was doing any of these press conferences. So I don't think she used that as a thing. But I do understand where they were trying to go with that. They're trying to say that basically Vegas don't give a fuck about you. They only care about the money. That's corporations. That's businesses. That's just the way it works. And yes, MGM was very shady in this whole thing. I mean, obviously, with the way those lawsuits went down, that was pretty fucked up. But nevertheless, man, bring coronavirus into something like that. Leave that shit out, dude. There's no need to put coronavirus in a fucking Vegas video. It has nothing to do with that. You know, that's a whole different topic and a whole different ball game. Oh, what just happened? We lost volume? How did we lose volume? Wow. Are they giving out their personal addresses, phone numbers? What's going on here? What's happening here? Why did we just lose volume? Is that my internet? Or do we lose volume? Let's see, let's go back a couple of minutes. No. Yeah, we lost volume. This video doesn't have volume at the end. That's odd. That's strange. I wonder if that's just a glitch in the camera. Camera switched over to a different, you know what? I forget what it records in 20, 30-minute increments or something. But that's strange. I could have just talked over this, man. I mean, it's not like this is very exciting stuff anyway. And I'll be completely honest, man. I don't think we're looking to find anything exciting from a body cam. I just don't think that's going to happen. Body cams are, I mean, what are you going to find, dude? You're not going to find a second shooter in a body cam. If these guys are trying to hide something, you're not going to find it in a body cam. So if we're going off conspiracies, you're not going to find it in a body cam. And even then, like, what are you going to find, right? Second shooter? Is that what we're looking for? Not to diminish the body cams, because some of them are they all kind of fit into a picture. And they kind of tell the story of what went on that night. Even this, like, you don't have to go through all 3 hours to kind of understand the panic that these cops have and how they got everybody into this theater, the panic of the people in this theater, stuff like that. You don't really have to, you know, you don't have to see the whole, complete 4 hours, be a completionist on this shit. But what are you going to find, right? Like at this point, I mean, these cameras were very, very important for the transparency of the event, So, like I said, I'm not trying to diminish the fact that, oh, fuck these body cams. We don't need to watch these things. No, it's not about that. It's that I don't think you're going to find really much more than what we already know. It's nice to watch, I mean, it's a poor choice of words, but it is nice to be able to see, what transpired that night from different angles, stuff like that. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. That's transparency, whether you want it or not. I mean, they're not very transparent with other things, but what the cops did that night, they are. And so, when I hear conspiracies about the cops doing something, this whole police department being in on some big thing or whatever, this just adds to the ridiculousness of that, because I mean, they're pretty transparent with what the cops did do that night as far as a lot of this stuff goes, good and bad, man, because some of these cops are fucking rotten. The guy who's this dude's sergeant is rotten. He's not a very good cop. I think the guy with the camera, all night, it seems like he's been scared out of his mind. So you can't really fault him for that, But the camera of the room, Bitsko, that camera, that's very important. That's very important. Just get an idea what was happening up there in Paddock's room, when all that went down. Varson and Hendricks, that was a good camera to have. I'm surprised they released something like that, because that does not make them look good. But but a lot of these, are minutia, and I'm sure that's why they released them, because they're like, yeah, here you go, fuckers, have fun watching this garbage. But you do have certain ones that are very important. Some of the radio traffic that you can hear on various cameras, whether the camera itself is, worthwhile or not, some of the radio traffic is kind of important. But I think at this point, the only thing I think that is missing from a lot of this is the motive. And if you have the motive, everything will fall into place. Oh, and there was a news report yesterday, right? So there's a little bit of conspiracy stuff, right? A little bit of conspiracy. Let me find it while we're watching the minutia here. And I spelled it wrong. And we can, let's see. I have to find it, because I think it was yesterday's news. Yeah, there it is. And okay, let me find the actual spot here. Continue watching darkness. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm gonna pause this real quick. I mean, I could just let it go, but I'm not gonna. Gotta have some kind of standards. Let's see. So screen. Let's go to share screen. All right. All right. So Las Vegas Review Journal. Las Vegas Review Journal. All right. And am I still on screen? No, I'm not. Okay, we're good. All right. So this was a story I ran into. Last night? I think it was last night. And, I just got in the habit of watching the news in Las Vegas because of all this. So this was a story that I thought was interesting for all the people who want a crazy conspiracy. Here we go.
After he trespassed
Not
and
this guy.
arrested him.
The next guy.
Speaking of stealing money and
What are you, 12?
what?
You've been using
you
the same
kidding
stink
me?
stick since high school.
They snuck
It's
a
time.
freaking ad in
ex-FBI
there.
agent is set to spend 3 months
Oh,
behind bars. Speaking of stealing money, Bollier after he trespassed and arrested him. Speaking of stealing money, an ex-FBI agent is set to spend 3 months behind bars for gambling away government cash meant for an undercover operation in 2017. Scott Carpenter's sentence came down Wednesday with both the prosecution and defense asking for probation. Carpenter admitted to playing blackjack with the money, losing more than $13,000.
That crazy or what? That's insane. Now, maybe it's just my head that went there, and I'm not normally a conspiracy guy, but think of this, right? Ex-FBI agent got sentenced to 3 months. Who cares? Big deal. But slap on the wrist, not a big deal. For gambling away government funds in 2017, which, wow, 2017. What else happened that year? That's interesting. Lost 13,000 plus playing blackjack. And the thing that always rings through my head is Paddock's brother saying he wasn't gambling his own money. And of course, that's after he said, I haven't seen him in like 17 years or some crap like that. But he seemed to know a lot about Paddock. But anyway, weird thing. It's possible that this is just a coincidence, but it's something to think about. It's interesting. There's absolutely no evidence whatsoever saying that that's related, but it is interesting. It's interesting to think about. Mary Lou Danley worked for the FBI, supposedly. I kind of believe it when they took it off of that damn website. That was strange that all of a sudden that would disappear from that website. But, I'm not usually a conspiracy kind of person, but those things are interesting to me. That's why I watch the damn Las Vegas news, because I figure if there's something to this that is worth hiding, there may still be something out there that's that'll leak out, something that might be somehow related. But I think in the end, if what we really need here is we need a motive. We need a motive. And till someone could piece together a motive, we're just spinning our wheels at this point, That's the way I feel about it. But that's why, the FOIAs that I'm looking for are basically based off of Paddock and interactions with Paddock, not, ballistics. I don't care about ballistics. I don't care about any of that garbage. I just don't. To me, that's not going to tell me anything, It's going to tell me people were shot in certain parts of their body and the bullet came from an AR-15 or shrapnel from whatever frangible round bullshit he was using. Yeah, I'm not interested in that. Not interested in that at all. But that's just me. That's where I'm at with this. I mean, at this point, I'm kind of every day I kind of believe more and more in the actual narrative than not. The more I watch this stuff. Although, it's always interesting, like what they don't tell you, right? So it's not I don't know. It's not really about what they tell you. It's what they don't want to tell you. You know, what kind of stuff are they keeping from the public? You know, to me, that's where the I guess they're hiding things and stuff like that. You know, I think that's the stuff that matters. I mean, I got that stupid thing from the Las Vegas Review Journal, and it's like, or no, I'm sorry, the Department of Justice, right? Why the fuck does the Department of Justice care about Paddock's gambling records, and why do they have it, right? You know, most of the time you get something from the FBI saying, yeah, we have the information, we'll give it to you someday in the future, you'll get it, or put it on the vault someday in the future. And but yeah, it's weird to get a letter from the DOJ themselves. That's crazy. And the way it was worded was very strange. It almost made it sound like I was asked for information for somebody that not only worked for him, but worked in the department where the department of people that give access to information. That's strange. It's just really strange. But that's just the way I interpreted the way it was written, because it was written very poorly. It was pretty horrible. But for a form that's probably been around for 30 years, it's pretty bad. But it's interesting, like when you look at like what's going in the vault versus what's not going in the vault. So like the casino host, I think they said that was going into the vault. God, what did they say wasn't? Shit, I don't even know. I'd have to go back and look at the screenshots, because they send you this email that like expires after like 48 hours. And that tells you whether they're, you know, taking you seriously or not, I guess. And I got numerous of those emails. And a couple of them, you know, said it's going in the vault. You can't have it until it goes in the vault, which means public access. Everybody has it. And there was something in there. I can't remember if it was the casino host statement or I can't remember. Because they didn't give me a reply, I don't think, on the people who talked to him. And I have a feeling that might be because they didn't have to, because I named those people by their last name, as you know, it's written in the final report. So Jay Wheeler, C. Colton, C. Orpia, those people. And I want their statements, you know, because they're the ones he checked in with. So obviously he interacted with them. But I don't think I ever got a reply from that, which I thought was interesting. That's odd. But, you know, it might just be because they're like, hey, this dude's naming people by name. We don't give out, you know, information on living people, you know, and you put their name in there, so we're just not going to give it to you. We're going to use that as an excuse. Although they didn't give me an excuse, they just didn't give me anything. But that's very possible. I did ask for the casino host statement, and they didn't want to give me that. I think it's I asked for the text message data from Paddock's phones, and I listed the phone numbers. And I said I wanted a year of it. I wanted from 2016 all the way up to 2017 when it happened. And that was not going in the vault, I don't think. I think that was the part that wasn't. But it's interesting because, like, gambling records, when I asked for gambling records, you know, I also asked for Paddock's banking statements. And so the banking statements, I got back a form from the FBI saying that it's going in the vault. Okay. Or no. Yeah, that one's, yeah, it's going in the vault. Okay, so that's all I got from that. The gambling records, it gave me a letter back in the mail saying it's going in the vault. But then it also gave me something from the Department of Justice wanting to know who's asking for the information. And I ain't filling that shit out, dude. They can do the work. They can figure out who I am. It's not hard. I mean, you have to put your damn name on these things when you file the FOIA originally, so they can figure out who I am. There's no reason for them to ask who I am. But nevertheless, it's why does the Department of Justice have that information, not the FBI? The FBI is the investigative branch of the Department of Justice. The FBI should have their own records, I would think. So if the FBI has their own records, they should have all the records of Stephen Paddock, unless some of them are still locked up within the LVMPD. But from my understanding, from people I've talked to, all the records are now with the FBI. The LVMPD does not hold on to them. So they're all with the FBI. So, yeah, if the FBI has all this shit, then why is the Department of Justice suddenly interested in who's asking for some of this stuff? That's just weird. It's weird, right? So if the FBI is the investigative branch of the Department of Justice is the legislative, or well, legal branch, not legislative. The legal branch of Department of Justice, army of lawyers, basically. Why does the army of lawyers have this information, or do they? Was that letter a mistake? I don't know. I mean, it could ask for the FOIA again and see if I get the same letter, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know anybody at the FBI right now, so I can't figure that shit out. And I don't think anybody else that I've talked to has gotten a letter from the Department of Justice. Everything's from the FBI, straight out. Man, can you imagine sitting in this damn theater for 4 hours, just like under like basically military control? I mean, this is what do they call that? Where the fucking military comes in, takes over. I don't know. Can't remember the term that everybody's so afraid of. Martial law. Yeah, everybody here is under martial law right now. You can't leave. You're stuck there. Yeah, just deal with it. I don't know. It's kind of lame. Especially when you probably traveled there from a different state. Just get locked in a damn room and get treated like dog shit from this sergeant for something you had absolutely nothing to do with. It's just bad. Anyway. Yeah, it's exciting times. This is an exciting video. And I still got like 20 minutes left. So, yeah. How's everyone doing? My God. I mean, at least we're not seeing people dying in front of us. A couple of those videos, they were hard to get to get through because of that, I think that's the worst part of this mess is when you start getting into autopsies and people's lives, and oh my God, it gets horrible. It gets really bad. "1:45 in the morning." All right. So his camera's off by a minute. Because I'm guessing his phone runs off satellite. Oh, the camera might too. I don't know. Anyway. But yeah, I was not all that happy with that Money Machine movie, video, whatever it is. But then again, everybody's got their own threshold for, what they find repulsive and what they don't. And that just hit that trigger with me because I heard somebody I actually knew, screaming out in the background. That started it, and then I end up seeing people that died later that night, and alive, and showing clips of those people over and over, and I'm like, man, this is fucked up. Like, that was tough, man. When I saw that shit on one of these body cams, because that's where they got most of the footage, it's body cams. And it's all footage we've seen a million times. But when I saw it on body cam, and I'm like, man, this person didn't make it. Man, that was tough. I think I took a break after that one. I was like, man, fuck this. I don't know. But yeah, it's pretty fucked up. Let's see. So it says 48. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're on. The time jives. That's good. I don't know why we lost audio, man. That's frustrating. Because, the video doesn't have audio, obviously. So let me fast forward and skip through a little bit just to see. Yeah. Sometimes that fixes it, but not always. I mean, some of their banter is interesting. At least to me. I know to most people it doesn't matter, but it's interesting to kind of understand the perspective of these cops that night, good or bad. This guy, like I said, was scared, obviously. I mean, he says it a couple times. He was freaked out. His sergeant's just a dick, so I don't think anything freaks him out. But if I was going to get pulled over, I'd rather have this cop than his sergeant, because sergeant just seems like a dick. And they were doing things way stupid. Like, I don't know if I even said this on stream. I ranted to one of my friends about this bullshit, or somebody in the community. And these cops, man, they're sitting in front of the Michael Jackson Theater, which is what we're in right now, what we're watching. And they're sitting in front of this theater, and they're yelling at people down the hall, and they're screaming at people. Mainly the sergeant guy. And he's sitting there yelling, put your fucking hands up, get your fucking hands up, get over here, get the fuck over here. The fuck are you, stupid? And just talking shit. And it's like, man, these are just people vacationing. I know you're, going through some stress thing right there, right now. But, these are people who are just vacationing. And they're not even locals. They don't know you, They don't know the way the police operate, here. Most of them probably don't have much interaction with police at all. And here it is, you're at gunpoint being yelled at by some aggressive cop. That's fucked up. You know, spend all this money on a hotel room, you're gambling away your life savings, and you got some cop holding you at gunpoint, barking orders at you. That's kind of fucked up. Again, I get the dramatic situation they're going through, but you don't got to treat people like that, And then to make things even better, they're sitting here in front of this Michael Jackson theater. They talk to a security guard. Security guard says, we got a bunch of people hunkered down inside the Michael Jackson theater here. They're all just hiding in here. And these fucking geniuses decide to tell people, hey, go run back into the casino, find the House of Blues, and go through the back door. There's a back door in there. Go through the back door if you can find it, and go outside, and there's a bunch of security guards out there. So how are you controlling the event if you're just letting people wander through the casino? And chances are a lot of these people ran into more cops as they're running through the casino, getting screamed at even more by cops. I mean, I don't know. It's just not the way to handle things, right? And now you got a person behind you. And if you think that this is a terrorist event, because you don't know at this time, you think it's a terrorist event, there's multiple shooters, there could be, some crazy shit going on all up and down the strip. It's possible that's realistic at this point because you don't know what's going on. You haven't even breached the room. But you're telling people, hey, just run behind us and go find the House of Blues. Fuck that, man. That's stupid. That's dumb. If you're going to do something like that, you have a couple cops escort each guy out, but I don't know. I don't get it. I think a lot of mistakes were made with this little group here. I think a lot of mistakes were made with this group. I'm not a big fan of this group of cops. At one point, they were getting ready to go outside, and they got reports that there was a shooter running from Excalibur to New York, I believe, over the walkways. And I mean, they're right there. These guys are right there next to. Trying to think of the layout of the strip right now, and I'm all screwed up. I think they're directly across from. Are they directly across from the Excalibur? I believe. I don't know. Anyway, these guys were about to go run out there and find out who's shooting, and then they get a call from SWAT upstairs saying, we want you to hunker down in this Michael Jackson theater or whatever. I don't know. And then all of a sudden they switch gears. Okay, we're not doing that now. We're going to stay in here and watch these people. I mean, okay. I don't know how many cops are here either. I mean, it looked like there were 5 or 6. You couldn't send a couple cops outside just to report whether it was legit or not, I don't know. That's crazy. You got guys supposedly run across. Now, granted, they didn't know exactly what was happening. So there's a little bit of leeway there. Because, for all they knew, somebody could have come in and attacked this theater, which would have been really bad. So I give them that. But, yeah, a lot of things within this just don't sit right, I can't believe the audio went out. About an hour left. About a half hour left. The audio went out. I'm guessing it's just since these cameras Oh, hey, what's up? Oh, yeah, that news story is interesting, man. I mean, it's just look, it's conspiracy territory. It's heavy conspiracy territory, but I just thought it's interesting that that happens, right? That happens. The FBI has been caught. One FBI agent has been caught and prosecuted for spending the FBI's money. And they didn't even say what the money was supposed to be used for. They said it was supposed to be used for a different FBI project or something of that nature. 13 grand, dude. I mean, that's weird, right? I I mean, I don't know how this went down, dude. You know, they give them $100 a day saying go buy drugs from this drug dealer. I don't know, you know, here's $13,000 all at once. What are you going to spend 13 grand on? Why did they give them 13 grand? You know, it's weird. It's weird. It's a weird thing, man. And the FBI is just running around with 13 grand in their pocket doing what? What the hell are you doing with that? Like, what was the purpose of that cash? Just weird, man. Just strange. Yeah. After the last couple of years, the way the FBI is acting, holy shit. I mean, I don't care if you like Trump, you don't like Trump, but the FBI raided the house of a former president. That's crazy. That's insane. And I don't care, like I said, if you like Trump, you don't like Trump. If they would have done this to Obama, I mean, people would be freaking the fuck out. But it would be the same thing, right? It doesn't matter that it's Trump. It could be any former president. I mean, that's sketchy. Yeah, you said it. That's crazy. That's insane. The FBI, I don't know, man. The FBI's been doing some funny shit. And I had another guy who was writing me letters for a while, and I can't mention his name because he doesn't want me to. He said he'll stop talking to me the day that I do mention him, and so I won't. And but he had some interesting perspectives on that too. He was saying kind of the same thing. He's like, if you see what the FBI's done this last year, and that's before Trump, he's like, you see the sketchy shit the FBI's been doing. He's like, I don't hold anything past those guys, especially when it comes to something like Vegas here, He seemed to think that the FBI was all in on this, and the problem is that's, unfortunately, well, fortunately, it's all speculation. So, I mean, I don't really work well on speculation. I just don't. Speculation just leads to conspiracies, and conspiracies are just speculation. So, I mean, these days, the conspiracy theories are turning out to be reality, which is insane. That's nuts. That's absolutely nuts. I was watching. Who was I watching today? I think it was Tim Pool, and he was talking about, uh, what Trump did recently, the trolling, where he's endorsing Democrats, right? And he's endorsing these Democrats as basically an FU to the Democrats, that have been voting for impeachment against him. And where was I going with that? Oh, I can't remember. I lost that train of thought. I completely lost that train of thought. I can't remember. Yeah, but that was interesting. And the way Trump worded all that, it's like, oh, so what he was saying, right? We're talking about conspiracy theories coming true. And the Babylon Bee, like, God, I don't know, a year ago or something, put out a nonsense story, which is, they're satirical. That's what Babylon Bee is. And they've had a couple stories that amazingly came true. And this was kind of one of them because they said, I think a year ago or a couple of years ago or something like that, that Trump would vote for his own impeachment, forcing the Democrats to vote against it because they vote against everything that he goes for. Everything he's for, they're against. And he's like, it's coming true. That's basically what he's doing. He's endorsing these people, saying that he agreed with their idea of impeaching him. It's crazy. It's fucking crazy. Shit's crazy. That guy's a madman. He's fucking nuts. I mean, and I'm, politically, I'm not a Republican, but I was a Democrat up until recently, man, but they're losing their minds, dude. I can't get on board with what they're doing. Yeah, it is a sickness. It's crazy. It's crazy. What's going on these days is nuts. And it's funny, man, because like, I got family members that are diehard anti-Trump people. It's not even that they're like liberals or anything like that. They're not even political people. They're just anti-Trump. And I'm not anti-Trump. I mean, when they put Biden out there, I'm like, you got no choice, man. Like, Biden's unelectable. He's just, yeah, he's horrible. And so, I'd have all these people that are like, Trump's such an evil bastard and all this sort of bullshit. And it's like, yeah, but did you watch The Apprentice? Of course you did. Of course you all did. You thought he was the greatest person in the world when he was on The Apprentice. He was funny. Him saying you're fired was hilarious. Everybody thought that was great. Everyone thought that was a great fucking thing until he became president and beat Hillary Clinton out of that seat. Then all of a sudden, oh my God, he's a fascist. He's racist. And oh, Jesus, man. You're crazy. People are fucking nuts. You know what I always say? Like, I always tell people, like, I work, hey, I live in California, right? So obviously, I know a lot of people that are diehard Trump haters, right? And to me, it's funny, but, the establishment is, I've always been a little anti-establishment, and the establishment is not Trump. Yeah. Yeah. We're all pretty much considered far right, unless you're a far left extremist. You're pretty much stuck in the far right bracket at this point. There's only like black and white, man. There is no in the middle, man. There's no gray area left anymore. It's stupid. They created that problem, though, and it's gonna bite them in the ass someday. The scariest thing I see is you fuck things up so bad, And again, I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm just, I'm a libertarian at this point. I used to be a Democrat. Now I'm libertarian. But, they push that pendulum so far in one direction and it always snaps back. It always does. That's the way our politics work in America. That's the way a two-party system works, period. So like, you get a George Bush, then you get a Barack Obama, then you get a Donald Trump, then you get a freaking, potato head. And, but it's always just snapping back and forth, right? So we're going to end up with a Republican, right? We're going to end up with anybody. It doesn't matter who it is, right? He could put a freaking glass of water up against this guy and he's going to win as long as you say it's a Republican. And that's scary. That's a scary thing, man. It's a scary thought. Because, I mean, yeah, okay, we get Trump again. All right, whatever. I think Trump made a lot of mistakes, that cost him the election, really. But, oh, shit, a new video. And I got a couple of reasons I don't care for Trump, personally. But those are my personal reasons. And I can go ask the person who hates Trump, why do you hate this guy? And it will not agree with my reasoning. So, and I'll always tell them, I go, I got 3 reasons I don't like them. And they'll ask me what they are. And I'll say, I can tell you, because if I tell you, you're going to use that. And I think they're legitimate. But I think your reasoning is not legitimate. But I used to say, like, if Democrats would put somebody.
Alert all officers, do not respond to the east side of the boulevard, north of Mandalay Bay Drive. This is not a position of advantage. We will be pinned down. The more officers that come over here, the more of us will be pinned down.
Put somebody up there
right over this wall.
Who's electable.
Copy.
Somebody,
All officers
anybody.
do not respond on the east side.
Hell, Obama was a terrible president, but put somebody like him up again. Find somebody. But you give me that potato? No.
I have a team at the convention center entrance. We're slowly moving into the casino.
Oh, well, shit, is that? Are we done? Are we done? I don't want to see the news. Let me take this off real quick and figure out what the hell's going on here, because that might be the end of release number 9. Is it? I can't tell. Damn it. Let me see the whole playlist. Damn it, YouTube. Go back to LVSA. Hold on a sec. Because I'm just going through his playlist here. And that's how I'm doing this. Trying to get through everything someday. Okay, so let's see. View full playlist. Yeah, there's only 3 videos on that playlist. And that was the last one. All right, well, I'm going to go into 10. What is this? 13 minutes? I got a couple minutes to spare. One of these days, I'm going to put together a video of other channels that I watch that are mentioning Vegas, because I've seen it a couple times now. I didn't get a video clip of Tim Pool, but he mentions Vegas. He basically says we don't have enough information to make a determination of what happened there. So even he doesn't agree with the narrative, and he's pretty massive at this point. Guy named Salty Cracker, he's very, very pro-Trump, but he's entertaining for me, so I watch him a lot. And he's always mentioning, the failures of the FBI, and he always mentions Vegas. Which makes you think, like, since these are YouTube personalities at this point, and they're talking about Vegas. Yes, okay, Salty is. And since they talk about Vegas, or they're talking about Vegas, right? That means at one point they probably stumbled on a Hoover video or something of that nature. Yeah, that tells me, like, these characters, the Tim Pools and the Salty Crackers, at some point they stumbled upon Vegas videos, and they were possibly part of this community, or commenting within this community, which to me is interesting. It's interesting because, they're massive channels. You can't find anything really on Reddit about this. I don't know if there even is a Reddit thread that talks about this. The only one I could find was like the true crime thread. I think had a couple things back in 2017, 18, something of that nature. And but yeah, you can't really find much on this anymore. The 4chan, fuck me, man. I can't get through 4chan. 4chan's I mean, it's too chaotic for me. I don't understand how it works. I don't understand a lot of that stuff. So I don't mess with 4chan most of the time. The and then you got what? Twitter, yeah, whatever. Facebook, yeah, okay, whatever. Facebook has some videos that have been leaking out little by little. You see them on LVSA's page here and there. And rather than this, I want to go into let me take this off real quick because last thing I need is some stupid playlist coming up. Oh, I never even put that on. Okay, that's totally fine. That's totally fine. Let's go to LVSA. I want to see some. What's sad, man, is I subbed to one dude whose wife was killed that night, man. And I went through his videos, man. That was just devastating. That's horrible. Yeah, his poor wife didn't make it. And he's got all kinds of videos with her in there. And the last video he pushed out there was, I think, 2017, late 2017. It's just terrible. Terrible. Let's see. Okay, civilian archive footage. I think that's it. This isn't what I was talking about. This is just LVSA's channel. Yeah, there's not a lot of people covering Las Vegas anymore, really. I mean, nobody does it, I don't know if Joe Roscoe's still doing his thing, but yeah, I was never a fan anyway, so I don't know. I'm trying to think who is still doing stuff. True Seeker, she's been doing some stuff lately, and so that's kind of cool. And she actually, I mean, I know, man, I treated her like shit back in the day, and she's actually got some very interesting stuff, man. And I got to give her credit, man. She's sticking with it, through all the bullshit. She stuck with it. 10 once in a while, we can get 10 motivated to do a video. I'll say something, and or somebody will say something about 10, mention them, and you'll get a Vegas video out of 10. So that's cool, I mean, Joe's always been out there, dude. The whole army men with machine guns, it's like he's always been kind of loopy, he's looking for a conspiracy, and he's looking very hard for a conspiracy. I know Brian Shields still makes videos. Obviously, I did a video kind of bashing him not too long ago, and I don't really care for Brian Shields either. Brian Shields is pretty simple. He hates cops. Period. I'll talk trash about cops when I see him doing dirty stuff, but for the most part, I don't hate cops. I don't care. There's good, there's bad. It's nothing you can do about it. Deal with it. but that's about it, man. Yeah, no, most people don't mess with Vegas anymore. It's we fucked this scene up so bad, you know. And you guys were all telling me, man. Even you were. I remember when you were giving me some shit. I believe you were. One of the guys tell me in the comments, dude, don't be doing this drama stuff, you know. And I did. I jumped into it head first. And yeah, there's just too much drama, man. Too much crap. You know, I don't know if like NServe is still letting Turber talk about Vegas or whatnot. I don't know. I mean, every time I see Turber, he's got like some UFO shit on his channel or some bullshit, you know, and I don't care about that sort of thing. The if you go to October 1st Sounds, he has some videos. He has a lot of videos actually. And I mean, I haven't even caught up completely. I'll tell you, the person to watch, he hasn't put a video out in a while. And but I've seen some rumblings from him is oh, what is his name? Shit. Let me see if I can find it. I should be subbed to him, so I should be able to find him in my subs. But I have a feeling eventually he's going to come out with something. If he ever comes out with it, I don't know. But people that tell me he's been working on something that sounds pretty impressive. Let me see. Let's see. Is that how I find out? Let's see. What's subscriptions? Where's my subs? Oh, okay, they're there. There's my. I need to see all of them. I can't remember his name, dude, because everyone uses like real names, so it's like I have issues digging through all this stuff. Let's see. No. There's 10. 10 hasn't put a video out in a few days, man. I wonder how he's doing. Edward's doing some different things these days. He's not really talking about Vegas. Let's see. Yeah, he's got to be on here. Let's see. Oh, running out of battery. Let's see. Project Marathon. Okay, whatever. Where is he? Eric Peters. There it is. Eric Peters. So, yeah, I mean, keep an eye on Eric Peters. You know, if you're not sub to him, because from what I understand, he's working on something that I think would be pretty amazing. And if you've been out of loop for a bit, October 1st Sounds has quite a few videos, especially after Hunter passed away. He did quite a few videos there, kind of going over what him and Hunter were working on. And so that was pretty interesting. But yeah, I think that's about it. I mean, yeah, I don't think there's really anybody else talking about it. Like I said, we imploded this shit, man. We destroyed this shit. The drama got way out of hand, got way crazy, and you know, a bunch of us. I don't know if you call us content creators or whatever you call us, but man, we fucked this shit up. We really fucked things up. You know, we made it so this is just a circus at this point. But this here, you know, this is just me going through the videos, and I know nobody wants to see this crap. Nobody cares because this isn't very exciting. It's not very exciting for me either, but I want to get through it my objective is just to have a complete understanding of everything. And that's pretty much it, really. I mean, you know, I've got, certain people who were asking me, who certain people who passed away were, because they saw them at that concert, deceased. So I'm trying to figure out who certain deceased people are. That's why, I've been dealing with the autopsies and stuff like that, which is ugly business. And someday I'll get through it, but it's rough. You got to go find every person, find pictures of every person, go try and figure out which people are which on the autopsies, because they did us the favor of not telling us who's who, and try and figure out who they are, taking everything we got, where they were shot, all that sort of stuff, and try and figure out a storyline, like how this worked out, how this happened, how did this person end up at the hospital, how this, the people that stayed in the event died there. That's not the most difficult thing to figure out. But, the people ended up at the hospital. We see them in the body cam footage. I mean, 17 people or something were didn't make it to a hospital. The rest all did. So you're digging through a lot of that, trying to figure that stuff out. And then you're going through the videos. As I'm going through these videos, I'm trying to watch for various people and, see what their, on a personal level, what their last moments, what they were, how they ended up where they ended up or whatnot. Stuff like that. Just get an idea. And, but putting 58 names to, 58 autopsies is kind of tough. It's rough, especially when you're doing it yourself. Everybody has an opinion, who's who, who's what. I had a person tell me that one of the girls died in the venue is not the girl that's on the what do you call it, the report or whatever. And I was like, man, you're crazy. Say, no, that's this person. No, it's not. It says in the report it's this person. There's absolutely nothing saying it's not that person. And the person that they thought it was Michelle Vo. And I watched a video, and I know exactly what happened to Michelle Vo. Michelle Vo was put into an ambulance, and we see it in a body cam. And obviously, she didn't make it. So I can tell you how Michelle Vo ended up at a hospital, not sitting on the floor of this venue after everybody's cleared out. So, trusting other people's opinions is a problem. So, you get people occasionally that will tell you, well, I know all that. I know all that information. It's like, well, okay, you can send it to me, and I don't know. I'll see if it jives with what I have. But, at some point, you just got to do everything yourself, because you can't trust anybody, because everybody's got opinions. And, me, with let's say Michelle Vo, I know exactly, who that was because of what she was wearing. And she was wearing something very specific that night that she took a picture on Instagram of. So it's obvious who that was, even though they didn't say her name. One of the other girls, they said her name, so we know who she is, where she passed away. One of the other girls, I can match tattoos on her body, and I'm not talking about Melissa Ramirez, because I've yet to find that one yet. But you can match tattoos on her body and all that sort of stuff, and where she was shot and all that sort of stuff, and figure out the exact, how that worked out, how that happened. But there's one that has eluded me, man. And I have no idea because it's not on the map. And I know where the person died. We see it in a video. But I don't know if they ended up at a hospital or where they ended up, because that body was not left where I know it was. But, anyway, that's part of my headache that I got to deal with. Anyway, I'm going to cut this out. I'm done with this one. I'll start with 10 tomorrow. That's why I didn't want to start running 10 at this point. But yeah, good talking to you, man. And have a good night. And stay safe out there. This fucked up world.